Hi Vigo, welcome
Hi.
to Dublin,
Thank
and
you.
congratulations on Captain Fantastic. It's absolutely beautiful film, and it seems like an almost daft question in a way, but what drew you to the film?
Great script. One of the best stories I'd read in a long time, and that's the first thing I always look at. Is it a good story? Is it a movie that I'd want to go see? You know, and this certainly was. It was one of the best ones I'd read in a long time. So I felt fortunate that Matt Ross was interested in me playing this character. You know, I was very happy. I'm very proud of the movie. I think it's a good movie.
It's a great movie. You had some input into the film.
Yeah, but no more than anyone else. I mean, one of Matt Ross's strong points, he's the writer, director of this story, is that he was open to anybody's, opinions, suggestions, and he might not use all of the ideas, but he didn't seem to ever feel threatened by people's suggestions, and I think that's a strong point of any director. There's other directors I've worked with that are like that, like David Cronenberg stands out, for example. Someone who's very collaborative, knows that they're going to finish the movie, it's their movie. So why not listen to others and take on board what they have to say? But the script I read is basically what you see on screen, so it's not like much was changed, but he was open to a degree of improvisation and chance, and when you're working with 6 kids, especially very young ones, you're going to get surprises, and he was good at using what he got from everyone.
The kids in the film are absolutely wonderful.
Yeah.
What was it like to work with them? Because they're so varying in ages and the sort of way that they behave on
Well, they're
screen.
all different. I mean, they're all from different parts of the world. I mean, there's 4 of the 6 kids are from the United States, but they're from different parts of the country. The eldest is from England, and the second oldest boy is from Australia. So they all came to this story with different points of view and from different cultures in a way. But it was seamless. I mean, when you watch the movie, one of the strong points of the movie is that you really believe they are a family. You believe they're siblings, you believe they're my kids, and a lot of that had to do with not only the talent of these kids, but the fact that Matt Ross gave us time to prepare before. We had a couple of weeks where we did a lot of things together, and all the skills you see in the movie, the mountain climbing, the martial arts, the stuff we had to do in the forest, playing music together a lot. We got to know each other very quickly that way, a non-verbal way of communicating. It's great. So when we came to the first day of shooting, we knew each other, we liked each other, and we got along well.
It sounds like a really lovely, organic sort of filming process.
It is, yeah. It sounds simple, it sounds like common sense, and I wish it was always that way. It's not always that way. It's not as easy, it's not as calm. Very few directors I've worked with are this way. There was no shouting on the set, there was no stress. If the director was feeling we were running out of time, he didn't pass that on to us. He always made it feel like we had plenty of time and that things were going swimmingly, even if they weren't. That's a skill, that you have to have. David Cronenberg's that way. I remember when I first started, Peter Weir, Australian director, runs that kind of set as well. It's really helpful to actors and to the crew to feel like, okay, we're in this together. It's about solving problems, not about freaking out and we're running out of time and putting someone down if they're not at the top of their game on a given day. So we work together really well.
And it definitely shows on the screen.
Yeah.
What was it like to film in such a beautiful setting, the forest at the beginning of the film?
Yeah, it was wonderful. I think everyone loved it. I mean, I've always, since I was a boy, was raised going camping and fishing, and being in the outdoors is something I like, so that was a bonus. It's a beautiful part of the world.
Yeah, it's stunning.
Yeah.
What was the biggest challenge for you? For me, the biggest challenge watching the film was when you were climbing that rock face.
It was for me. I'm not crazy about that. I'm constantly aware of the fact that if I fall, it's gonna be a problem. The good kids didn't have that problem. They seemed very happy swinging about up there. But I was glad that day was over with. The bagpipes, doing that correctly, that was also a bit of a challenge. But there were a lot of things, and just working with 6 kids is a challenge, but they were so willing and so talented that they made it easy. They gave me lots to react to, and it was great fun.
Fantastic. And just then on the other side, what was your favourite scene? I really loved Noam Chomsky Day. I thought that was a lovely sort of twist on the annual celebration.
Well, every time I see the movie, there's something else that stands out. But one of my favourite scenes is, I don't know, I don't want to give this away, but you'll know what I'm talking about. And when people see the movie, they'll know what I'm referring to. There's a scene where the kids finally get to see their mother after not seeing her for a long time. And the way that scene is shot and the way it's acted, the kids are so beautiful. And their emotional purity in that scene, I love that scene.
Yeah.
The re-encounter.
Yeah, it's gorgeous. The film is really about finding a balance between coddling children and protecting them from the world and sort of wrapping them in cotton wool, and then on the other side being almost too honest with them and too open with them. Do you feel there's a balance to be found in this?
Yeah, and then that's one of the strengths of the story is that the role I play, the father, Ben, he's forced to recognize at a certain point that he is out of balance, and that maybe he has gone too far in some areas, and honesty is great. In principle, being really honest with your kids about everything, and having no subject be off the table, whether it's death, sex, anything else. I think that's good. I think that's positive. But it's a question of degree, choice of words, tone. There are moments where he's brutally honest in this story, and sometimes it's very funny. But then, right after you've laughed at that moment, you think, "Oh God, maybe that's a bit much, or maybe it's even dangerous or harmful psychologically." Yeah. And some scenes, like the rock climbing, you wonder if it's not physically ill-advised, And there's a lot of things morally that they do and say that you wonder about. But in general, I think the foundation is good. They just need to find a new balance. It's a bit extreme sometimes. Yeah.
And I also thought the film was about finding home and finding where it is that you belong. Do you find that that's something that you have found in your own life?
I think it's a constant struggle. I think whether it's in a relationship with somebody or just first and foremost relationship with yourself, how you feel in the world and around other people, it's not something you arrive at and say, okay, well, I'm at peace now and I'm in a good mood, or I'm having a good day, or I'm getting the most out of life, I'm paying attention to what's happening around me. You have moments like that, hopefully, but then the next moment is probably not as good as that, and it's a process, Mm-hmm. There's no such thing as a perfect dad or as a perfect relationship or a democracy. I think you just have to work at it, and the story in part talks about that. It speaks to the benefit of communicating, especially communicating with listening to opinions that are different than your own,
And finally, what do you hope audiences take from the film?
It's important to listen, and if you're a parent, it's really important to listen to your kids and to be as present as you can be. Everybody's busy. Everybody has their own interests. As a parent, or in your relationship, or you'll find out soon enough if you're not present. If you're there or not. I mean, it's aspirational. This story. This father literally gives up 100% of his time and energy and devotes it exclusively to raising his kids. And then when it doesn't go as well as he thought it was going, it can be devastating. You feel, well, I've given everything and it's not appreciated. And people can experience this on the job or in their relationships and in their families. And then you just have to regroup. I think any movie that makes an audience feel at times that everything they're doing is wrong, there's something to be said for that. And then you hopefully regroup and think, well, maybe a lot of what I'm doing is okay, but I could improve. You can always improve, and maybe some of these people that I'm seeing in this movie story, the way they approach life, maybe there are some things I could take from that.
Brilliant. Listen, thank you very much, and congratulations again.
Thanks.
On this beautiful film.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Yeah.